Okay, everybody, this is the war recap for this last weekend's war, a range war from the Immoral Thieves against Pinoy Bandidos1. As you can see, this was a 40d40 breakdown of 5 Town Hall 11s, 14 Town Hall 10s, and 21 Town Hall 9s. The final was 113 to 110. And Immoral Thieves, we had 4 Town Hall 10 on 10 triples, 8 11 on 10 triples, and they had 9 actually 11 on 10 on the dips. So as you can see, in the we missed an attack as well, which we were aware of, which was fine. So yeah, so a total of 33 to 30 on the freestyle count. So that's where we ended up winning, 113 to 110. So let's just watch some replays. And a large amount of this war was that, and the we went and the 10v11 really efficiently when they had quite a lot of trouble on ours, which in the game was quite a lot more attempts at in the 10v10s, which we managed to take. So that was really quite good. So the only one which I'll show, which I think was probably which was a fresh hit, was really good. Head shop, 10 and 10. So this is a 3 in the golem and bolo attack with baby drags for percentage basically. So and the drop in the 2 outer golems were some of the wizards to create the funnel. Essentially, what you want to get down are the 2 outer towers at 9:30, which has just gone down, and the other one at 11:30, which just went down, and then everything should go straight through into that infernal compartment, which he's got a rage and a freeze and a heal, and then another rage after using the first jump, and you're just trying to get everything in there, and the dropping in poisons on the CC and the enemy queen and the king, and everything just goes straight through, blast through, and there you go. And the queen actually went to walking, which I don't know, he might have got more from this if his queen went to the core, but actually she seems to get quite a lot of percentage. And he has just lost a baby dragon in this area to a Seeking M, and if they would have held on a bit later and had one left, all these buildings here, and they would have been taken up by one baby drag. So he got 56%. It could have got a bit more, but all in all, fresh hit against their top base. Really nice job. Next one we'll look at is an 11 on 10. And we had in the 2 failed at this war, but the rest of them were pretty and powerful attacks. And this is a bit of a different one, which you don't often see on replays, but it is quite good. So it basically uses the heroes and the 2 golems with a load of bowlers to push into the base, and it's basically like an old Town Hall 9 Go-Ho attack essentially. So you're breaking in and the drop in and jump, you're using a rage, you're using a heal for the bowlers and for the king and for the queen. If he uses a heal, I think he does. So you're taking out the CC. You've obviously got the warden ability as well, which he just uses now in really good timing, and you're taking out as a Inferno there, taking out the CC, and then bringing in the hogs. So we dropped in most of his hogs there, and the big part to this is the freeze heal combination on the Inferno to get them past that Inferno and to keep them all up healthy. So he's dropping in his house. He's lost a few there, so he's already used 2 heals. And the queen is still up, taking out some defenses, and the hogs, and they come round and meet up with the queen. That's GG against a max base. Well, I maxed in the Town Hall 10 base. and the king is still up as well, and a couple of bowlers and whiz, and yeah, nice amount of clean up. It's all good. Excuse me, I've still got a really bad cough. Quite annoying. So that's that. So let's get on to the 10v10s. We had 4 in total. I'll show 3 of them because the ones would have been shown on Bisextron's channel. So let's go to the 15, which was my attack. So this was a fresh hit. I was really confident that this attack will work on this, and it worked really well, as you can tell from the timing. So this is the 2 golem and the go pitch attack. 3 witches on both sides with a bunch of bowlers, the 2 golems in the centre with the bowlers, and some the wizards, the CC wizards, the CC bowlers, the king and queen go straight through. In the miss drop the jump, as you can see, so everyone had to go to the side, but it didn't really matter. Essentially, the power of this attack is to use the witches and the bowlers down on the 2 sides, taking out a load of point defences, and the golems to protect the king and the queen, to then and push through the centre of the base to reach the other inferno, which they do. This and the golem here is trailing a bit, but it actually it comes round eventually, and takes cannon. So you can see here, there's already 75% of the base gone. There's a huge amount of the bowlers and the witches up top. I don't think I've lost a witch. Okay, so that's 1 witch has just gone down. So we've still got 5 witches, and all the Larrys are running around, and the queen ability just to get these last buildings down, and that is an absolute wrecking ball of an attack on certain bases. I like these brute force attacks. That's the type of attacks I often have always done in games. So this suits me well. The other guys, these other ones are a little bit more fancy, to say the least. So 18, Pen comes in with the 1 golem Laloon. I can't remember where he comes from. So he's in drops some archers for funneling purposes. I think he comes from the north. I may be totally wrong on this. No, obviously no. Okay, comes from the west, and the queen. Yeah, makes sense. So so you can see here he's got 7 haste. Hasn't got any rages whatsoever. So this is all about, and they're getting that inferno and the queen down, and as many of these archer towers. I think he's in Queen Goes in. I don't think he's Queen Walks. Oh no, he's in the Queen Did Walk on this. So with the Houndloon CC, the Queen walking, that probably helps him a lot on this. Manages to get the Inferno down. Hound and Loon are still up, but the Queen is taking out a load of archer towers going down there. The Hound and the Loon are not going to do anything because she's going to die soon too. So he hasn't taken out any air defences, so he needs to go through 4 air defences with all these hounds and loons which he's got, and with just a huge amount of haste and a heal for this part in the centre. So he's got 3 haste, he's just dropping in his loons, they're coming in just all, and they're converging. There's that Inferno, which is about the only real problem, because they will jump on these last 2 air defences. They've still got a lot of loons left. He's got 2 haste left, so he's going to haste everything in now towards the Infernos. So there's 1, and they go straight through. Use the haste to get to the towers, so we've got 1 haste left, and a load of minions, a load of cleanup and pups. I think he uses the last wave just to propel things across. Oh no, yeah, there you go. So he actually had some swag minions. That's that by Ben. The last one I'm going to show is Jeffrey. This is the Suicide King and Queen to get an air defense and some key defenses, and then the much more heavier Lalo with the skeleton spells. Excuse me. So, and the King and Queen going in did a really good job with the baby dragons for the funneling. And the Queen's taking out the Wizard Towers, and the King's doing all the tanking. The key is to get to that air defense, and then he's got these 3 air defenses to aim for, and the 2 Infernos to go through, and the Queen. So that's quite a lot to go through, but this was their lowest ranked base, but even so, it's still got quite high defenses. So there's the Rage, and then he's going to drop on the Queen the 2 skeleton spells, and the Queen is dead. Then I'm going to jump onto the King. The massive advantage of having the heroes like he did is that he hasn't got to deal with whatever was in the CC, because it isn't ever pulled. So some hounds on the back end. This was a little bit closer than he probably thought. I was on the Discord at the time this was going on, and it was hard to see how many loons he had left at this point, but he just had enough, it looks like, probably about 3 or 4 left there, just to get to the last Tesla. Nice job, Jeffrey. Welcome back to the clan. Comes round, smash. So yeah, so there's the hand loon. Jeffrey is Chris, by the way, so that's that one. Right, let's show some Town Hall 9s. I think I'm going to show 3 of these. Actually, maybe 2, actually, because one's already been shown. So, Train Heavy. Oh, this I will show this because it's a really nice attack. This is a dragon hybrid attack. So we'll have the Queen War going down at 4 times just to, and the Getter going, the King for funnel, and some minions down low for funnel. So this is one of these the bases where it's a bit more harder to hit with air, but a standard Lalo because of the way the air defenses are. He's got a Tesla farm and down here and by the Queen, and so the Queen Walk is essentially just to try and take out as many of these air defenses. The King is doing a bit of funneling here, then he's going to send the dragons across the base through here. The Queen has drawn out the CC, and she's going to deal with that herself. May have to use her ability. I know she'll be fine. So he has 1 hound. So that you see. So he actually used a Town Hall 9 level hound and preferred to bring 1 max dragon and 3 max loons, and the rest of it is just haste. It's just rages and heals us too, and they get the dragons across the base. The max dragon is doing work still. The Queen has lost all the healers apart from 1 to outside seeking air mines. There's 1 air defense left, which the Queen comes round to take. So he's got 3 drags left. Which the only thing really left to do is the 2 Teslas. 1 dragon's doing a bit of tanking there, just doing some clearing, and the Queen will come round with these other 2 dragons to do the final smashing of the base. And that's it. Really nice attack by Train Heavy, which is Tribarius. Again, welcome in the back to the clan. Really nice attack, man. 31. Unram. Unram is a bit of a Town Hall 9 monster at the moment, just getting. He's awesome on cleanup, it seems, as well, so that's what we want. Anyone fails, we go on route. So here we go. The two golem go Laloon with bowler, so go bowler Laloon Lalo. I can't speak today. Straight through. Some bowlers went to the outside. Drops the heal and the poison in the CC in the Queen area, allows his King to get in there to use his ability and to take out the enemy Queen. Oh, he has actually used his ability, he's still got it. Uses that to blast through then there's Lalo's the rest of the base. He's got a Tesla file to get to. I can't remember if this was a fresh hit. I think it probably was. No, it might be cleared up. I don't know. But the Queen's doing tanking, and that's all. The defense is down. Really nice attack. Bone now. Final attack is number 35 on James by Garnicus. Garnicus with a 6-pack again on fresh hits. So this is it. He comes in with his queen, a little bit of a queen walk. My mobile's going off. My wife's going to kill me because I'm ignoring her, but she can just wait for a couple of minutes. So raises his queen, takes out the enemy queen. The king doing a bit of funneling, breaks open. I thought when I was watching this, the queen was going to go walkers, but she actually went in where he went into the area which he broke in to take out these 2 air defences and the sweeper, and then he's just going to Lalo the rest of the base. Really nice deployment there, able to get everything down. Comes in, two rages, 1 haste. Comes across. He's still got 2 hounds left or 1 hound left. Oh, that's just the max hound, isn't it? And just the 1 loon on the back end for the Wiz Tower and a swag rage. And that is that. So that, my friends, is the recap of our war against Pinoy Bandidos1. Really good war. They were very hard fought. They did really well on the 9-on-9s. They did really well. 11-on-10s. They just had a hard time on our 11s, which then really limited the 10-on-10 attempts. Right now, thanks for listening, and I will be back in the future with some more war recaps for the Immoral War family. Bye bye.